Another trade recap. Today I took 2 trades, both were winners. This was I'm going to discuss the first one. It was in the AM session. No, it was actually London Open. Look at me lying. So this is my coloring book. I turned off the coloring. We had a new weekly open gap so far. Big move up last Wednesday, or that's 1.5 weeks ago, and then price was just grinding down. So what did I look at? So price dropped on Monday, found the bottom, and then started crawling up. So let's see if I did some drawing. So this is actually a big 4-hour gap, which you want to see filled. So that's the 4-hour gap. And so far there was not much going on here. Nothing much that really took my attention. So what happened? This is the 4-hour. You want to see it break to the upside, because actually price was just grinding up. Small candles in the overnight session, and then you would like to see a big move up, which came actually at the last hour just before London Open. So what was I looking at? So I saw this small candles, quick move up into a 15-minute gap. That was actually here. I'll just make this smaller. 15-minute gap. There was an hourly level. Was it a 4-hour level or just an hourly level? Let me check. No, it was actually just an hourly level, this one. And I opened the charts. London just opened. It was here. London opened and closed below, just tagged this level. And I was watching, and this is the 1-hour level marked, and you can clearly see there was a big SMT. So there was a higher high for MNQ and a lower high for ES. So ES was lagging, and for me I need to see the high time frame aligned, which means at least a 15-minute PD array. So for me that was a 15-minute fair value gap. But there was also a 1-hour key level, so I want to see at least a 1-hour key level, and there was a high time frame SMT. So these are the 3 I look at, and to see it as an A+, I need at least 2 out of those 3. So this was 3 out of 3, so that immediately caught my attention. Because it's a 15-minute fair value gap, I go to the 1 minute, especially seeing how these candles were developing. Okay, so this is where the price action happened, the magic. So I actually opened my computer. Let me just delete this. I opened my computer at this time, and I saw price immediately dropping below this 1 minute fair value gap. And actually I'm trying to look for more aggressive entries, because normally I wait for the change in the state, and it tends to be sometimes quite a late entry. And when you see price action like this and it ticks all the high time frame boxes, and in this last move up just before the change in the state, because I do think that's important, that the change in the state and the fair value gap should not be too far apart. You have such a clear break and they close. With these wicks before, oh man, that's just an insta entry, but I was too late. So what do? I have my time frame marked, and I start drawing my other lower time frame tools. So I draw my magic fibs, and I took this level. And why did I take this level and not below? Because what you can actually see is that price is ranging here, and I'm trying to look what was the last low before the range was broken. And the range was broken, in my opinion, in this move, because this is not that much of a low, and then it started sprinting upwards. So I took this one for my magic fibs. Delete it. There was clearly a change in the state here, and I also want to see it align with my magic fibs, and the magic fibs is nothing more than the normal Fibonacci lines. So I want to see the change in the state more or less align with the 236, potentially a stop at 0.1, which is totally arbitrary. This is not a Fibonacci. And then I look, do I have a proper target around the 618 level? And then I wait for the change in the state to be broken. I put my stop above the high, and then I target the 618, which is good for a 1.7 R. So I saw this happening and I had my tool ready, and then once I got this close below the change in the state, I activated my short, which was tagged here, and then the waiting game starts. So normally I'm okay with having some drawdown, because what I've noticed is that once this level is broken, the change in the state is broken, you do get a potential sweep into the golden fib area, the 50%. But to be honest, when I see such a level below with the gap, then it's less likely, especially also seeing that it creates, especially when it's a balanced price range, because we have the gap here and the gap here. That makes it an extra strong level. So price was running down. I took off, I think 50% at 1R, which is a little bit down. So I think I took 1R off here, and then I took at 1R I took 3 contracts. I think I had 8 contracts. And price was just chopping a little bit and trying to take some liquidity. I'll move this to the side. And then it ultimately chose to move down. And then the tricky part came, because price dropped. Good God, it took a long time. Dropped here, almost came to my level because my TP was here, and then it violently moved up. And it moved up to where I think I had a 1 minute fair value gap. I think it was here. It tagged the fair value gap, got liquidity, did the same over here for ES, because it was just kind of moving alongside one another. And then it just tagged the 618. Let me just get the 618. But what I did, because I saw price already tagging this level, I moved my TP a little bit up to make sure that I would get filled, because, and this is also, so for me this was a good trade. I will cancel it now, because then you can see this is why I trade the 618, because you can see that after this it just ran away. At least it did not fully send to Hades. Let's see. So I move my stop a bit here. I think I can show the executions. Good. Okay, so these were the executions. So I went short here. I took off 3 here, and I actually went short here again with the stop above this level, I think. And then I took off the 5 here, and the remaining I took off here. So there was actually just one bigger trade and a smaller trade. And the reason, so I moved a bit. See, so this is actually where I went off, and this is where I had my stop loss. This was actually not such an interesting trade. And this is where I took off the other one. And my entry was, over there. Happy with the trade. some lessons to be learned here. One of it is, okay, so when price action is so clear and it screams at me, just go short directly after the inverse of the fair value gap. I was too late, so I couldn't do it, but next time I'm going to go more aggressive. Second thing that I think could be worthwhile is to have my stop placement sometimes a bit more aggressive. I could have also taken this trade, and then I would not hold it all the way down here, even though the RR is good. I can do my arbitrary 0.1, but then actually being okay with this trade is also good for a 1.8, because what I'm also looking at is the time I'm in a trade. So just to show you, I entered here and my first R, how can I do this? My first R came from a trade that took me 18 minutes. But as you can see, from here to here was an additional 48 minutes, so that was actually 3 times the initial trade for just an unimpressive extra R, which is okay. Look, because this was a let me just do it correctly here. This was a 1R, so I took it off at 1R, but this, I think I took it off here, was a 1.6R. So I can also just, what I explained, have a more aggressive stop and take off, because so I did it for 1.6. So if I do my arbitrary 0.1 and I trade it to the same level, like here, I have the same RR, even better RR in 18 minutes time. So this is something that I can still improve on, because this chop is just it can really play with my mind, especially when price was moving towards target, aggressively selling up. I was really eager to close my position, but then I also saw, no, it's an aggressive move and it's okay that we rebalance, and most likely we will sell off. But then I also felt here, if it's going to move here, I have to take off my position, because it either just drops immediately, so or it will just bounce. So what I did, I decided, okay, I'm going to put my 5 contracts, I'm going to sell it here, because that's a perfect trade. And this remainder that I opened up here, I'm going to give it some leeway, and I think I put my stop somewhere here, I think it was. And then I did not make much out of this trade, but at least it's in profit, small profit, and if it decides to just break through, I'm still in the trade with 3 contracts, so that's fine with me. So this was actually something I did really well. I'm happy with that. And for the rest, yeah, good trade. That's a great start of the morning. So I'm happy with that.